I have cancer, and last year I used my single Make-A-Wish Foundation wish in order to start a charity to help out other leukemia patients with both financial aid for their medication and also with education expenses for when they fall behind. And today I am back at Montgomery County Community College because we just formed a partnership with their Gateway program to provide affordable education to leukemia patients in 23 different school districts across Pennsylvania. We are also in the process of expanding this program to 2 other colleges that will allow us to cover almost every single school district inside of the tri-state area with this program. Hello, my name is P.D. Wiley. If you know me, then you know I've made it my life goal to help other leukemia patients with financial aid. Our primary focus so far has been medical expenses and medical bills, but overall, my goal is to improve the overall quality of life of other leukemia patients. And I do think patients being able to have the opportunity at an education while they are hospitalized or after they have fallen behind due to factors that may be out of their control, such as cancer med side effects, doctor's visits, or hospitalizations, still play a huge part in that. I believe that education can be a form of medication because once you fall behind due to these factors that are out of your control, trying to get back to where you were can suddenly feel like an impossible Sisyphean task in which you feel like you may never be able to get back to where you were. And when you are a young person with cancer, that is the last thing you need to have on your mind on top of everything else that you're already dealing with. It is the last thing that you need to be stressing over. And I am not just saying this as an outsider looking in. I actually graduated from this program myself. And I also happen to be one of the first cancer patients to attend this program at Montgomery County Community College, which not only allowed me to see how amazing it can be for patients, but also allowed me to see a need not being filled. Because prior to this partnership, this program was never made for cancer patients directly in mind, originally. In fact, one of the things that we are going to be doing is we are going to be connecting Montgomery County Community College and this program to all of the different hospitals that we have in our network so that we can bring this program to as many leukemia patients as possible and make the largest possible impact. We have created this partnership to expand our Education to Fight Cancer program. Not only will this program provide affordable education to leukemia patients, but we will also separately be using this program to produce educational magazines to be sold at our fundraising concerts and on our website, with the proceeds going towards this program and also providing financial aid for the medical bills of leukemia patients. The purpose of these magazines will be to inform people about the importance of healthcare reform, teach people about healthcare literacy, and how you can find the resources you need if you need them. The other purpose will be to teach people ways that they can help their fellow neighbors and help other patients in need who may not be able to help themselves due to their health, socioeconomic condition, or otherwise. Just to give you an idea of the type of impact this program can have, I'd like to briefly give you a bit of backstory on my experience with it. When I was first diagnosed with cancer, I fell extremely behind in school, not only due to dealing with side effects from the medication I was on, since they were at their worst in the beginning, but also due to the many doctor's appointments and hospital visits I had to have during that time. During the start, they didn't know what was wrong with me. I was going to weekly doctor's visits and having occasional hospitalizations because I had really bad leukocytosis at the time. My white blood cell count would fluctuate a lot, but would end up peaking at 115,000. This not only meant that a majority of my white blood cells were cancer cells at this point, but it caused me to be extremely tired during that time and sleep excessively, making staying on top of schoolwork and not falling behind extremely difficult. Since at one point I was sleeping almost 24 hours a day. Not to mention, with everything I had going on with the side effects of my meds after my diagnosis, you can imagine that after falling behind so much, getting back to where I was in school pretty much was one of the last things on my mind at the time. Not only did it get to a point where I felt like I'd never be able to catch up, but despite the fact that I had doctor's notes, and despite the fact that my school had already known where I was and that I was in the hospital, and they had already known of my condition because we had informed them, I still would have truancy officers trying to come after me despite the fact that I was in the hospital at the time. I would still have truancy officers coming after me as they were still trying to figure out what was wrong with me and trying to figure out if I had an autoimmune disorder or if I had cancer. At the time, I had felt like the school system had failed me and that I was not going to get the resources that I need to be able to be successful despite my illness. And if I'm fully honest, I was very close to dropping out of school entirely as a result. However, the reason I'm standing here now, having graduated from both high school and college early, as a matter of fact, with both high school and college credits, is because I would go here, Montgomery County Community College. If it weren't for Montco and their Gateway program, I likely would not have the skills to be able to do the work that I'm currently doing with this charity, and my life would be completely different. I would apply and get accepted into the Gateway program, an accelerated scholarship program here at Montco. The Gateway program is an award-winning scholarship program that has earned the National Achieving the Dream Program Excellence Award for helping students achieve academic success. And the Gateway to College program is an early college program that helps young people re-engage with their education and launch post-secondary careers while completing high school diplomas. Of the 28 colleges in the Gateway network, Montco is one of the only 9 to have exceeded all 4 benchmarks to receiving a Program Excellence Award in 2023. And Montgomery County Community College's Gateway program is one of the only 2 programs in Pennsylvania. It is one of the first colleges to be a bellwether finalist, a national award that recognizes programs or activities that have been designed and successfully implemented to foster or support teaching and learning. This program gave me a second chance at being able to have an education and to be able to be successful despite how much I'd fallen behind due to my cancer. However, here's the thing. I'm extremely grateful and lucky to have had the opportunity to apply for and know about this program in the first place. Yes, I had to work my butt off, especially at the time that I did. And the classes here, they aren't high school level classes, they are college level classes. So if you come here and you get accepted into this program, after applying, you still have to work very hard. But even despite that, to have a second chance at an education and have the chance to pursue an affordable education, I'm still extremely fortunate to have had that opportunity. I know that there are many patients who deserve to have the same exact opportunity, but haven't. The only reason I even knew about this program to begin with is due to the fact that even before I had my Make-A-Wish to start my charity granted, I still already started trying to do things to get my charity off the ground, because it's something that I've wanted to do since very early on, even when I was first diagnosed, even before I knew that I was eligible for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And one of the city councilmen that I knew and who I was working with to try and make this happen informed me about this program, which is what led me to apply. So not only do I realize how lucky I am, but I know that there are many patients who are like me who could use a program like this. However, many of them do not have the resources or the access to be able to do so. I assume most patients probably don't know a city councilman. So that is the reason why I reached out to Montco to make this program accessible to other leukemia patients, so that I could share the same exact opportunity that would allow me to do the work that I'm currently doing with my charity with other patients, so that they can also have the same exact opportunity that they deserve. And I know my situation does not apply to every patient, and I know that this is not a one-size-fits-all solution. But at the end of the day, when is education ever that? From some of my other friends with cancer I've talked to, they've told me that they also fell behind due to their illness at some point. And I know it can be very difficult, especially if the school system begins to fail them, especially if they have a lower socioeconomic condition to begin with, or if they go to a school that may not have the resources to be able to help them because they aren't equipped to handle a student with an illness as extensive as cancer. Not to mention, now that COVID-19 is not as much of a priority for most schools no longer have an online or hybrid class program. So it's not like a patient could just go to one of those if they are hospitalized due to their illness anymore. So here is the plan that I've come up with for how we are going to address this issue and how we are going to directly help leukemia patients with this problem. We are currently working with Montgomery County Community College and the Gateway program to create 2 different programs. The Gateway program works directly with almost every school district inside of the Montgomery County area. So, for example, Montgomery County Community College works with 23 different school districts. There are 2 different ways that patients will be able to apply for this program. On our website that is currently under construction, there will be a place for patients to apply themselves, and patients will also be able to apply for this program through their social worker at their hospital. We plan to connect with as many hospitals as possible that will be in our network to be able to connect this program to as many patients as humanly possible. Once the patient has applied, the application will be reviewed. And if they meet all the criteria to be eligible for the program, and the Gateway program believes that they will be a good fit, then at that point the patient would have a second chance at an education that would be at no cost to the patient. Due to the fact that we will be offering college-level coursework and high school credits, this program will only be available to young adults and teenagers who are 16 to 21 years old. And since we will eventually be able to work directly with not just these 23 school districts in the Montgomery County area that we currently have access to, but also almost every single school district in the tri-state area, it will allow us to ensure that there is continuity in each patient's education journey, since we can work directly with their school district to make sure that they get the credits to go towards their high school diploma. And they will, in addition, also get college credits that can also go towards their higher education after they graduate from the program for any other college that they may want to actually go to after the fact. We plan to offer two different versions of this program. Firstly, of course, an in-person version where patients who have fallen behind in school due to circumstances that may be out of their control related to their leukemia can get classes directly at Montgomery County Community College or at the community college where the program is taught in their area. At this program, since this is an accelerated scholarship program, they would attend college-level classes directly on campus that would not only provide them with the college credits that can go towards their degree, but also, since we will be directly working with their school district, it would provide them with the credits that would also translate into their high school credits for the high school that they are currently attending that can go towards their diploma. The second version of this program is a new version of this program that we are going to offer, that we are building directly with Montgomery County Community College exclusively for charity, where patients that are actually in the hospital directly will be able to get the education that they need virtually without leaving the comfort of their hospital room or their hospital bed, and they can still ensure that they do not fall behind in school while also getting the education that they need, despite the fact that they are in the hospital getting this treatment. Because not only do I believe that healthcare is a human right, but I also believe that education can be used as a form of medication, and that everyone should be able to have access to affordable education. So these are two problems I'm working on solving for leukemia patients, and I hope you will join me in attempting to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and we are so excited to show you what else we have in store next. Stay safe.
While my car windshield frosts over from the cold, so does my mind.